Okay, guys, what's going on? So, Kell, Brook, and Amir Khan. Let's give it an update on this. Look, this is my take on it, right? This is my honest opinion. This is the truth of the matter. I'm going to cover a few bases here. First of all, Kell Brook. Kell Brook tweeted when Amir Khan was down, saying that, all British showed on Amir Khan taking the mick, right? When Amir Khan could potentially die in that ring. That is extreme, but that could happen. We've seen it happen. Especially after what's happened with Nick Blackwell going into a coma. Amir Khan has kids, he has family. Kell Brook's got people who probably care about him as well. And it's just disgusting. I think it's absolutely disgusting that a fellow British boxer, right, would take the mick when Amir Khan is down on the canvas flat out. I think that's disgusting. And it's not the only time that I've said this. I was quite passionate about it when Nick Blackwell suffered, and especially when Rod Salka stepped up to face Danny Garcia, and Rod Salka got knocked out viciously. And because of weight classes and everything, I was really angry because I was like, why are these fights happening? They shouldn't happen. They shouldn't be sanctioned. Rod Salka versus Danny Garcia should not have been sanctioned. So, look, right, with Kell Brook and Amir Khan, this is the truth of the matter. I'm going to say it like it is. With Amir Khan, okay, and people can say what they want, right? I'm telling you how it is. He's a fighter who thinks he can beat Canelo, thinks he can beat Mayweather, and he thinks he can beat Pacquiao. What on earth, on this planet Earth, do you guys live on where you can go and say that Amir Khan doesn't think that he can beat Kell Brook? I mean, really, you think that he thinks he can't beat Kell Brook when he thinks he can beat Pacquiao, Mayweather, and Canelo? Are you serious? You can call it deluded, you can call it confidence, whatever you want to call it, you can call it. But the truth of the matter is, Amir Khan is not scared of Kell Brook because he thinks he'll lose to him. No. Maybe there's a slight situation there that if he ever did lose to Kell Brook, which obviously is a possibility in boxing, that it would be very harmful on his reputation, career, and everything, because he would losing to Pacquiao, Mayweather, Canelo is one thing. Losing to Kell Brook is a totally different thing. But then there's the other thing, right, which is about giving Kell Brook a payday. Kell Brook has dogged Amir Khan, Kell Brook has slated Amir Khan, Kell Brook is disrespectful, and it goes back and forth, right? We've seen this in the past. However, Kell Brook did step over the line with this whole situation, but we have seen Kell Brook say that, look, winner takes all. But how serious was that? We have seen Amir Khan make a serious offer to Eddie Hearn, and his camp have made a serious offer to Eddie Hearn, where the split was significant in Amir Khan's favour. So Amir Khan has made an offer to fight Kell Brook. Eddie Hearn just refused it. That's a fact. Because the payday for Kell Brook was so low. So what does this mean? This means that Kell Brook is definitely 110% looking for a significant payday. Because if you felt you could beat Amir Khan, why not beat him, become a big name, right? And then, you call the shots. At the moment, Amir Khan's the one taking the risks. Kell Brook has fought Jojo Dan, Kevin Bizier, and Frankie Gavin. Amir Khan is coming off fights against Chris Algieri, who he beat, Luis Calazo, and Sal Canelo Alvarez. Sorry, Devin Alexander was his last fight. He fought Devin Alexander after Luis Calazo. So, much better opponents than Kell Brook's last opponents, Totally different league and class. Kell Brook's last good opponent was Sean Porter, okay? But I'm just keeping it 100% real here. This is the truth. I have to speak the truth. And if you feel I'm being biased towards Khan or whatever, then that is what it is. But look, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to say what I've got to say. Kell Brook has made not much money in his career. I have heard his highest paid was around about £300,000 or $300,000, I don't know, mark, when he fought Sean Porter. Now, as a fighter, you have a short career, right? And, if say Kell Brook has about 50 fights all in his career. In 50 fights, right, if his first fight he's made, he's not made much money, he's been flying, travelling abroad, you have expenses in boxing, you have to travel, you have to, put money into your training and pay your trainers off, you got taxes, you've got promotional cuts, all this, right? If that's his highest payday, right, at the end of the day, a doctor, right, or someone like an investment banker could be making about £100,000 a year, let's say, as an example. But they could be making that sort of money consistently, year after year, over a period of about 40, 50 years before they retire, okay? Can Kell Brook do that? No, Kell Brook's got until about his mid-30s, got a few more years left in boxing. It's a short window where he can really utilise his star power. Kell Brook, if he doesn't get the few million quick, right, and it's not 1 million, he has to make a few million to be able to live comfortably, right? Kell Brook's in trouble Because if he's making his maximum payday in Sean Porter, which is let's say 300 grand, right? From what I remember, it's been a while since I looked at the numbers. When he's fought Jojo, Dan, Kevin, Busy, and Frankie Gavin, how much has he made? Has he even made 100 grand off that? 100,000? On the flip side, Amir Khan's numbers are being talked about from 4 million to 9 million, excluding Box Nation in the UK, excluding his UK numbers. That's the numbers that apparently Khan was getting for facing Canelo Alvarez on the US numbers, US side. So, look, I mean, them sort of numbers are just totally, they're miles apart. They're miles apart. And Kell Brook desperately wants to pay it. Now, why should Amir Khan, being a person who really dislikes Kell Brook is dogging Amir Khan, doesn't like Amir Khan, why would you give your worst enemy, and see, it's not just a rival, that in it's you've had rivalries in the past in boxing, but this is something a bit different where we're seeing spite coming from Kell Brook, hate coming from Kell Brook. And it's the other way around as well. Amir Khan seriously hates Kell Brook. They don't like each other. And I don't think Amir Khan wants to give Kell Brook a payday when Kell Brook is not fighting elite level good fighters and he's not earning it. You see, if Kell Brook beat Sean Porter and he was on the level where he was making some money, and then Amir Khan could face him because then he's rich anyway, he's made his life anyway, then they might as well fight. Then Amir Khan will probably say, you know what, forget it, let's fight. You know, I'm not going to do anything for it. But Amir Khan's probably thinking to himself, why should I do Kell Brook a favour, fight him, make him loads of money, and he can retire and live his life in peace when he's so disrespectful and he's facing Frankie Gavin, Jojo Dan, and what's his name, Kevin Bizier. Why should I face him? He beat one fighter in Sean Porter, and that is it. That's all he's done. His IBF strap, right, is only there because he beat Sean Porter. He's beaten nobody in the IBF rankings that is of any significance. Jojo Dan, Kevin Bizier, and all these, they're bums. Okay, being an IBF champion, right, means nothing because if you're an IBF world champion, yeah, it's a bit of an achievement. And you know you got to rate anybody who's a title holder. But I mean, in today's boxing, I mean, if you got to look at it like this, who's faced better competition, Sean Porter or Kell Brook? Who's faced better competition, Keith Thurman or Kell Brook? Who's faced better competition? I don't know, man. You could go through the list and so many welterweight fighters, Robert Guerrero or Kell Brook, and you just keep going through and you'll realize Kell Brook has not faced the better competition. He might be a better fighter, but he needs to prove it in the ring. In terms of his competition, it's been very, very poor. So really, who's beaten better opposition? Sean Porter has beaten better opposition than Kell Brook. Although Kell Brook beat Sean Porter has faced better opposition, but he's still not a world champion. He's not a world champion anymore. Even though Kell Brook's got that belt, Sean Porter's facing the better fighters. You see what I mean? So look, for me, right, these belts that we hold today in boxing, there's a few of them, and there's Keith Thurman who's a world champion, there's Kell Brook who's a world champion. So for me, and Danny Garcia's a world champion. You know, it's a bit ridiculous, to be fair. I mean, who's got the better resume at 147? Sean Porter or Danny Garcia? Who holds the belt? Who's a world champion? It's Danny Garcia. Why? Who's he beat? Who has he beat? Who has Danny Garcia beat at 147? Who has he even faced? Let alone beat. Who has he faced? So for me, right, this whole belt thing, Kell Brook did one thing, and that's beat Sean Porter. That's the only thing, and he did it not by a mileage. It was a close fight, and some people felt Sean Porter won. So for me, right, Kell Brook, I'm getting sick of it, right? I'm getting really sick of it. And if he fights Jesse Vargas, I like Jesse, but that's not the fight we were promised. We were promised Danny Garcia's. We were promised Keith Thurman's. Where is it? So why should Amir Khan give him the payday? I want to see the fight. But if you were in Amir Khan's position, you got to question, why would you give him the payday? Why? Why? What do these belts even mean? Like Jesse Vargas and Kell Brook, are they the elite of the 147 division? Maybe Kell Brook might be, but has he faced anyone? You know, so, you know, it's ridiculous. Comment section below, subscribe as always. For me, the truth of the matter is, right, Amir Khan, in the back of his mind, probably does have a thing of, if I lose to Kell Brook, is a huge, like, it's risky for me. But then I also think that there's also a thing about the payday. I don't think it's an excuse. I think it's legit. Why would you give someone like that a payday when they're slating you when you're down on the canvas? You could be dead. Comment section below, subscribe as always. Be Real TV. I'll keep it real 100 in a bit.